We do have Kylie Davis, our founder and president of the Proptech Association. Unfortunately, Kylie did catch the COVID, and she desperately was hoping to test negative and be well enough to be here this evening. But unfortunately, she is at home. She is going to join us by Zoom in just a minute, however. Yes.
Oh, here she is.
Hey guys.
Hello, Kylie. Are you there?
I am here. Can you see me yet? I guess
I can.
in true COVID style. Can you know, am I off mute?
All frocked
Yes,
up?
I've got you right in front of me. Look at you. You're
All
looking
frocked
amazing.
up and made up. Well done.
Hey guys, it is Kylie Davis from the Proptech Association, president of the Proptech Association, and it's my very great pleasure to welcome you all here today. I am absolutely heartbroken that I can't be there in person, but the legacy that I want to leave the Proptech Association and the Proptech industry is not to make tonight a super spreader event. And as I'm still coughing, I felt that it was probably just safest to stay at home. But I do want to just say a few words because tonight really is an auspicious night and it's a major milestone for Proptech in Australia. And I think we all deserve to take a moment to just enjoy that. I could never have thought 2 years ago that we would be here tonight with more than 300 people in a room celebrating the achievements, the creativity and the innovation of the country's most exciting technology sector. And I think we are really on the cusp of a golden age in PropTech in Australia. We're at a moment in time when both internal and external forces are aligning to bring the industry into the spotlight. And I wanted to highlight what some of those forces are and to provide a bit of an insight into our year in PropTech, because we've been reading through all of the entries in the awards, and to see the difference between this year and last year has been quite incredible. And we've noticed 5 key trends that are really emerging across the sector. The first is that all PropTechs are saving our clients time. Quality PropTech this year has been rigorous in removing bottlenecks around property ownership, around property agents and selling and leasing, and around facility management and how we're building and developing PropTechs. We're automating repetitive tasks. We're streamlining complicated and time-consuming manual processes across a range of solutions, not just in residential real estate, but all across the commercial sector and building sector as well. And we're saving time for all parties by improving the consistency of information that's out there and reducing the need for rework, which has so much inherent delay involved in it, which is really starting to speed stuff up. The second trend we're seeing, of course, is because we're saving time, we're saving people a hell of a lot of money. So many PropTechs are saving not just cold hard cash today for their clients, because we're delivering products and services at a cheaper rate to how we used to do things. And that's more than making up for the cost of our services. And that's because we're requiring fewer people in a team to achieve the same results, or we're allowing work to be more consistently outsourced. And also, really excitingly, we're starting to reduce waste and operational costs to business. But all of these 2 trends are really hygiene right now. Every PropTech in Australia is achieving these 2 things. And what we're seeing are 3 new trends that are starting to really come through. One of the most exciting ones that we see this year really starting to emerge is that PropTechs are delivering empowerment to the previously disempowered in the transaction space. Property transactions, whether leasing or purchasing, typically involve millions of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars in moving costs, in major disruption to everyone involved. And this idea that in 2022, the mentality that it should be buyer beware and buyers and tenants are required to carry out and fund the cost of all of their due diligence within an opaque environment is completely archaic. There's a growing breed of PropTechs that are using big data, analytics and processes to empower buyers and tenants to deliver transparency around transactions and processes, with the tools to make much more confident decisions for everyone involved. And this year we've seen a growing number of PropTechs emerge that are supporting a more level and transparent playing field across transactions, and they're creating a greater accountability all round. Increasingly too, we're seeing a growing number of PropTechs releasing new value from old assets. And this is the 4th trend that I've noticed. In the property industry, we build, we own, we manage very tangible assets that are around for the long term. And that's always traditionally included underutilized space and inflexible but lucrative long-term set and forget contracts. But we're now starting to see a growing number of PropTechs this year, enabling parts of our buildings that have previously been unproductive or been difficult to monetize and turning them into viable options for new revenue for building owners or resources that have real value. And that value has extraordinary flexibility, which in turn is becoming premium experiences, both in long and short-term rents and ownership. And the fifth trend that we're seeing is around the accurate pricing and identification of risk. And I think this is extraordinarily exciting, especially for someone who has been through both bushfires and floods. Property, ironically, has been an industry for far too long that involved fuzzy logic. We use spreadsheets and Excel to assess the value and the cost of our portfolios, knowing full well that they're based on incomplete data, out-of-date reports, and best guesses around when maintenance is going to be required. And if we add to that a business model where everyone along the chain tries to make their cut or squeezing suppliers and contractors, you have an ecosystem that is burdened with risk and very heavy costs. And over the past few months in the building industry, we've seen some tragic outcomes around that. The rise of big data-driven PropTech is providing greater transparency around the real costs of materials, the real costs of labour, the real costs of time delay, the real costs of carbon. And this in turn is allowing assets to be valued more quickly, allowing them to be valued more accurately. And that's having huge flow-on effect to budgets, to maintenance, to forecasting and repairs. And the undeniable benefit is a greater understanding of the real risk supported by quantifiable data. And this is changing the dynamic of when action should be taken in our buildings or the very real cost of inaction, especially when it comes to the cost of carbon and emissions. And the extraordinary work that we're seeing from people in the room tonight is one of the reasons why I really do very passionately believe that PropTech can save the planet. Now, against all of these trends emerging from within PropTech itself, we see external forces changing the dynamic with which we innovate and how quickly we are being adopted. Until COVID, fear was the single biggest thing that prevented the adoption of PropTech amongst our clients. There was a fear of getting it wrong, of making a mistake, of not getting all of the benefits that we promised them. But COVID has truly changed the equation to the point where the fear of not acting has been a greater risk than of taking action. And I'm personally really proud of how so many PropTechs leaned into better quality conversations and better quality communication with their clients when COVID struck, and the emphasis on delivering support, help, content, and value when the industry needed us most. It entrenched our reputation as an industry that helps our clients. And added to that, we now have legislative changes that are driving ESG adoption and a new federal government with a mandate to act more quickly to address climate change. Most of all, though, we have just extraordinary hunger from investors in this space who are not just looking for the next clever innovation that could be a potential unicorn for their investment portfolio, but could deliver the next clever innovation that will secure the ongoing value of their existing bricks and mortar portfolios. And in this way, the work that we're doing is truly win, 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 win. And with more than 10 years of cloud-based innovation under our belt, we're now seeing some of the rewards come to fruition quite spectacularly as scaling PropTechs with deep domain expertise are meeting industry incumbents with new cloud-driven ecosystems and deep pockets. The days when realestate.com or CoreLogic needed $1 million to do any kind of dev is now changing dramatically because of the cloud. And the 2022 financial year has to date been significant for the number of deals done in the PropTech space, with multi-million-dollar acquisitions from Domain purchasing IDS and most recently Realbase, CoreLogic buying AIRE, ActivePipe selling to MoxieWorks in the US, MRI buying Box and Dice, Reapit purchasing Console, and Archistar just this week buying SnapLoader, just to name a few. It's always a challenge to sell a business. I know this myself personally. It's a challenge to go from being a founder whose job it's been to solve every problem to being part of a bigger corporate team. But I applaud those acquiring businesses for the maturity with which they've approached these purchases and how they're looking to integrate specific expertise into their businesses rather than taking out the competition and removing the young upstarts. This golden age that I mentioned is the combination of PropTechs rapidly solving long-held problems in new and exciting ways. That legislative and government framework that's seeking to amplify adoption, and cash-rich investors and industry incumbents hungry to invest and entrench themselves with their customers. And even with the headwinds of higher interest rates and the likelihood of a slower property market and higher employment costs, this places us as an industry in an excellent position for the next 12 months. Who knows? We may even get to a point where the Australian Financial Review editors agree that PropTech is a thing and they stop obsessing about our fundraising and start covering the amazing solutions that we offer the property industry and the opportunities that these offer for our built environments. We can all hope, right? So now, just before we kick off the celebrations around those amazing solutions, there's just a few people that I'd like to quickly thank. This event, with more than 300 people in the room, is the result of nearly 6 months of very hard work. I'd like to thank our major sponsors, Ashurst, in particular Leah Peakman, Laura Ogden and Stuart Dullard, who have been the backbone of the Proptech Awards. Their belief in the association allowed us to hold our first awards last year, and their generosity this year in supporting the awards again, even though we couldn't do it in the boardroom, their beautiful boardroom, has been unparalleled. Thanks, girls. Laura and Leah, thank you. We look forward to hosting our first PropTech forum with you later in the year. And to our sponsors, PropTech, PEXA, Stone & Chalk, REWA, MRI, WebIT, List Once, Maneuver, Shape, TrueLayer, Yep Home, Capstone, InvestNet, Yodely, Ideas Spies, The Real Estate Conversation, Real-Time Conveyancer, and InstaRent. We literally could not host awards like this without the support of our sponsors. So please take the time to say hello and find out more about their businesses, because there are some awesome integration partners out there in that lot. And I know they'd love to talk to you. And a very big shout out to the West Australians dialing in from Perth again this year. Good luck with your awards later tonight. It was fantastic to join you guys at the REWA conference earlier in May. And it's great to see so much incredible PropTech being developed out west. And I'd especially like to thank the Proptech Association Board of Directors, to my amazing Vice President, Jennifer Harrison, who coordinated all of our judges and sponsors, to our Treasurer, Marianne Lampertang, who took over the seating at the last minute and made sense of my COVID brain seat planning. If you're in the wrong seat, it's all my fault, my brain wasn't working. And to Simon Hayes, AJ Chan, John Mins and Cecile Weldon, thank you for all of your time and effort that you commit to the association. I'd also like to thank Mark Hollins, who was the admin backbone of the awards, and to Isaac Coonan from PropTech Brisbane for your ongoing support and collaboration. And there's two women that I'd especially like to highlight in the audience who are very dear to me. Kylie Dillon and Sarah Bell, can you please give a wave? I can see, so I can tell if you do it or not. These two girls are my body doubles for tonight. And as you all know, I'm a bit of a hugger, which is also why I didn't want to give everyone home COVID. It's probably how I caught it. But Sarah and Kylie will be hugging people indiscriminately tonight on my behalf, so please avail yourselves. And lastly, thanks to Pete Shravmaid, who graciously stepped in to support Jen as co-host this year, and who is the head of Reach. I now bequeath the official title of Prince of PropTech. So congratulations to every one of our finalists. Making it this far has been a huge achievement. And have an absolutely fantastic night. And I really look forward to seeing you all in person very soon. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Big round of applause.